Hello everyone and happy new year. Welcome to 2022. I hope this year you have goals of learning new skills and improving yourself. And I wish you all the best in 2022. 2021 was amazing. I want to thank everybody that have subscribed to my YouTube channel, everybody that have watched my tutorials and I find it useful. I want to thank you and welcome to another year. Let's create more content. Let's share our knowledge, and it's going to be the best year ever. So today, I want us to discuss about extending our volume, our disk space, while achieving zero downtime. So if this is applicable to the cloud, not your physical machine, because in your physical machine, if you're running out of space, all you have to do is change, the space disk, whether it's a HDD or SSD. So if you run out of space, you just have to extend it by changing the hardware physically. But that's different when it comes to the cloud. When you have instances, virtual machines running on the cloud, and you find that you're running out of space, or you need more space because you want to run some software that requires more space. You don't have physical access to these systems, right? So what you do is extend or modify the volume right here on the cloud. So that is exactly what we're going to do right here. So I'm using the Cloud9 environment because there's an instance, EC2 instance that's powering it behind the scenes. So this is applicable if you just running a fresh virtual machine, and you can connect to your virtual machine from an SSH terminal. So it doesn't matter, but as much as it's a Linux virtual machine, you can always do the same thing that I'm doing right here. So I'm showing you exactly how to extend your volume, your disk space, while achieving zero downtime. So you don't need to switch off or terminate the instance just because you want to extend or modify the disk space. So you can have your instances running where you modify the disk space while achieving zero downtime. So we don't need to go offline for any reason. I just want to use the Cloud9 environment for this example because it kind of demonstrates exactly the pain that I felt while trying to use it for a while. So I'm just gonna give a scenario where I try to install a software. So I was trying to install MiniCube on this environment, and here is the pain. So I'll go to MiniCube website. So MiniCube requires you to have two CPUs, which I do. I have two CPUs on my environment. It also requires you to have 2 GB of free memory, which I have, and then it requires me to have 20 GB of free space, which I don't have. So this is where the problem is. So I don't have 20 GB of free space. So when I try to install this while ignoring the requirement, this is the error I get. So I'm gonna choose my operating system Linux. Architecture is okay. This is okay. And I'm just gonna copy this command, come back to my terminal right here, and just gonna paste it right here. Yes, allowed. Okay, that's not what I copied. Just try that again. I'll copy this. No, I just copy it manually. Copy. Come back to my terminal and paste it. Okay, so this is what happens when I try to install this. The second step is to start your cluster. So I'm just gonna copy this manually as well. I don't know why the copy button is not working at all. Maybe because I'm in a private mode. I think so. I come back here and I paste this command. This will help me to start MiniCube, basically install MiniCube. So when this rounds and rounds trying to download Kubernetes, I'm expecting an error because it requires me to have at least 20 gigabyte of space. But right here, what I have is 10 gigabyte of space. So, I mean, there's no space, so it's not going to work. Okay, so here we have an error message that says failed to register layer. So we have this error. I mean, no space left on the device. So we are running out of space. So ensure you have at least 20 gigabyte of free disk. Here's the problem. We don't have up to 20 gigabyte of free disk. I'm just gonna check the size of our disk using the list block command. I'm gonna say list block be allocate. And here we have our partition, and we just have 10 gigabyte of space. So this is what we have, 10 gigabyte of space, but what we need is 20 gigabyte of space. So definitely this is not going to install because, okay, we want to run Kubernetes on this environment, and we can't do that if we don't have at least 20 gigabyte of space. So you may have find yourself in such scenarios where you want to install a software that requires more disk, and you find that your disk is lower. Right, so let's go ahead and modify our volume size. Let's increase it to at least 30 gigabyte of space, or maybe 50, and see if we will be able to run this software right here. But in able to do this, we don't need to shut down our instance. We can always be online while doing this. So I'll go back to the EC2 dashboard. I have one instance is running, which is the one powering my cloud9. So I'll go ahead and click on that. This is the exact volume we want to modify. So I just scroll down where you have volumes under Elastic Block Store, EBS. Click on volumes. Okay, so you have one volume and the size is 10 gigabytes. So I just select this volume and I click on actions and I click on modify volume. And I'll come right down here and I'll extend this to 50. Just want to have enough. Okay, so now I'm go back and click on modify. Yes, modify, please. So our work here is done. I mean, we have been able to modify our instance. So let's go back to our terminal. Okay, so since we have modified our instance, can we install MiniCube now? I don't think so yet. Let's try that. Okay, so I'm gonna do MiniCube start again, and I'm sure we can still do that. And the reason is why can't we do that? The reason is because even though we have modified volume, we still need to kind of increase the partition size and also, extend the partition to the volume, the system volume. So we have like two more jobs to do. So but one job we need to do is to increase the partition size. So this, yeah, we the same error message. No space left on the device. Yeah, so we need at least 20 gigabyte of space. So this is what happens when I go back to list the blocks that we have. LSB allocate command. Now you notice something that we have this partition right here, like modified volume size, which is in the first option here, 20 gigabyte. We also have our initial 10 gigabyte right here. So what we're going to do right now is to increase this partition so it cannot become one with this one. So like I want to increase this partition so it can attach itself to the original one. It's going to be 50, right? So we're going to use a command called grow path, and we're going to give the path of the partition that we want to increase. And if you really want to see the path of this partition, you can use the command F space hedge. And if you watch very well, this is living in the dev. This is living in the dev, and this is the name of the partition. I'm just gonna copy this right here. This is what I need, so I'll just copy, Ctrl C, and I'll come back here and I'll say group paths, and I give it space, and I'm gonna paste this, and I'm going to give it another command called 1. So we want to grow it at 1%. I'll click enter. It needs permission, so I need to run this command as a root administrative privileges. So I'm going to run this command again, but I'm going to use the sudo keyword right now. Okay, still fails. Why? Okay, so I think this is the problem right here. Let's see. I'll try this again. So /dev, the name of the partition. Okay, let's see. So this should work. Yeah, that works. So what we're actually trying to modify is this volume right here, which is the root name of the partition we're trying to grow, the path. Okay, yeah, my bad. Once that is done, our volume is still not yet satisfied. If I go back to list the block, we're still going to have 50 and a 10 gigabytes. Okay, now we have actually grown the partition, and we have expanded partition. So we have 50 gigabytes and 50 gigabytes, but this is still not active because we need to extend this partition to our file system so that it can functional. So this brings us to the last command we are going to use. So I'm going to use administrative privileges here. So by sudo, and I'm going to say sudo sfs underscore, I'm going to say grow fs space -d slash. Okay, and that works. So we have been able to extend the fs file system on this volume using the new modified volume size of the display. So if I'm going to clear the screen, I go back and paste block. So yeah, so everything is 50 gig, and if I go ahead and do the df hedge, you can see that the new volume here is now 50 gig, and we don't have 10 gig anymore, right? Okay, so we can go ahead now and install and start MiniCube. I'm just gonna go back here and copy this code. MiniCube start. Go back to my terminal. Now paste that. Paste. And because we have enough space right now, so we have 50 gig, so we can go ahead and install. And that's it. We've been able to install MiniCube, and everything is working perfectly fine right now because we have actually modified our volume. So guys, thank you so much for joining me this 1st of January 2022. And please stay tuned to my YouTube channel. I'll be putting an era of content this year. Thank you and enjoy your new year. Bye.